Friends, welcome to Death Valley, California. A couple of days ago, I put out a tweet asking you for questions for a very special episode of Ask MotoMan TV. Well, that special episode is coming to you from the middle of nowhere. But sadly, what are you doing here?
You're the only person they let me ride with.
I'm offended.
But I'm here to help answer your questions.
Wait a minute, but aren't you the guy from Ask Nathan?
I am. Ask Nathan on TFL now. I am, well, Nathan, and I have my own Q&A program. And so this is a crossover series.
Yeah, but that's not a crossover.
It's not a crossover.
It's a sporty car, it's got the independent rear suspension. We're not
it's
talking
not exactly,
crossover.
no, it shows a crossover.
I even have questions that have nothing to do with family.
To do with that. Okay.
And your wife with a car.
Oh, no, don't even start going into my wife with the whole thing with the car.
Okay,
anyway, we're going to be,
you know what? Shut up. We're going to make this the special Ask MotoMan Nathan. That's a hell of a long hashtag, but that's what we're doing today. So I think we should tell the nice people of the audience that Roman didn't want to come on.
He's camera shy. At his age, it's kind of hard to get on camera too.
But guess what? I brought a question that's perfect for him. It's really an honor of Roman and his advanced age.
Oh, okay.
And I do not know why I got this question, but I wanted to pose it to you because maybe you could put the lens of Roman on to be able to answer it, because I can't answer this question.
Does it have anything to do with creamed corn or geritol?
Geritol, yes.
Okay.
Okay, ready for the question?
Yeah, hit me.
Comes from Muhammad Ikram.
Okay.
My apologies if I'm butchering your name, Muhammad Ikram. And he wants a car. He sent an email, actually. That's how excited he is about this question. He wanted something that is quiet and comfortable cabin. Now, let me give you a couple parameters here.
Okay.
Number one, he's been already looking around and he keeps on running into the Buick LaCrosse, which is, if I didn't know Roman, that's what I would have said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But here are the other parameters: $20,000 to $30,000.
$20,000 to $30,000.
$20,000 to $30,000. He said he likes Mercedes, but what he prizes amongst anything else is a quiet and a comfortable cabin.
I can see where Roman figures into this because, you know, that damn rock and roll music that's played outside and those kids who are dancing and doing all this.
Maybe he could sell Muhammad that Lincoln, because that's quiet and comfortable.
Actually, it is, and I'm willing to bet that he would separate from it for about 20 grand.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something to think about. No, I obviously Lincoln. Actually, you brought something in that might work. There are a few Lincolns out there.
Are you really going to suggest to my audience a Lincoln?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna.
It's not a good idea, because my audience knows what I think about Lincolns.
Let's move on to another vehicle, which would be, well, if it's not going to be the Buick LaCrosse, then it's got to be the Chevy Impala.
Oh, that's a really good choice. But can you get one for $30,000?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can get a new one for 30, but you can get a damn nice used one for 32.
Easily, yeah. The new one, they have a 4-cylinder option, believe it or not. Which
I've driven that.
Yeah.
It's actually not terrible.
It's not terrible, and that is a good start. And then you can also get the Chevy Malibu, which isn't quite as nice.
Yeah.
But it's zippy with that little turbo 4 that they have.
Okay. So would you suggest that new or used?
Well, I'm a new guy. I like new cars, but
as we found out, as your wife made you buy a sort of new car.
You're just really gonna.
His wife made him buy. Go ahead, tell him what you bought.
A Mitsubishi Outlander GT.
Oh, I'm sick out here, and there's no food even anywhere near to get sick on.
You know, you just really got to hit me with that again
yes.
and again. Yeah. Every time you build me up, you got to tear me down.
Your grand plan is he's going to get to buy a car.
A truck.
A truck that you want when you're 50.
So let's move on.
Okay, so Chevy.
Chevy.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah. And, you know, it's difficult for me to think of any European car that would fit in that number new. So used.
Okay.
All right.
But remember, quiet and comfortable is not just the money.
No, it's not just the money. But quiet and comfortable is a Lexus ES.
See, I was going to go with that all day long, too. Yeah.
So I think between the Lexus on the high end and then the Chevy Impala on the low end, you really have two great choices.
So in summarizing this question, I'm a little surprised because I brought you on as kind of an expert character witness, having worked with a guy for many years that's a card-carrying member of AARP, but really we're agreeing on the suggestions here.
That's right. And you know, you got to consider the fact that we've driven both those vehicles within the past year or so.
Yeah.
And you know, it's surprising, but at the same time, yeah, we both agree they're really good driving cars that are extremely quiet.
quiet, not my cup of tea.
No.
Now, I am still kind of surprised someone would come to me to answer this question.
Right.
But I mean, I'm not mad at quiet cars. Actually, the Kia Cadenza, we forgot that one.
The Kia Cadenza.
But that's more money. That's like 32 to start.
Yeah, and you know what? I still would go over to the Lexus ES used.
Yeah, I would too.
And I really do like
too.
the Chevy Impala because you get so much for the money and it's so quiet.
I'm going to disagree with one area of him. I would say used Impala, especially an LTZ, because I love the two-tone interior.
Yeah, the LTZ.
And all the gingerbread on the car, especially the wheels on that. Really a beautiful car. And then I would say it would be a toss-up. A used LTZ, a used, or really the new LaCrosse. I like that a lot, but that's going to be more money.
Yeah.
Or I think it's the Lexus, the ES.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I mean, I mean, granted, I'm not in a walker yet, but Roman is, and so, given that, I agree with you 100%. I think the Lexus ES used. Very
okay,
good
so
choice.
Muhammad, there you go. We're both suggesting a used ES, and that puts you in your budget and gets you quiet and comfortable. Now, let's go to the completely opposite end of the spectrum.
All right.
Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
And this, I need to bring out a prop, actually. See.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on, this is a G-rated show.
I didn't say.
I mean,
it.
yes, I
didn't
say
mean it.
bad words every once in a while, but
Let's continue.
Okay, let's move on. So we've agreed this is a sporty car, right?
Yeah, it's sporty.
Yeah. Okay, this is cool, fun to drive.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you see this, you probably have seen the episode that we did on that together. So if you haven't, click on the link above and you can watch it. Anyway, so the key.
Mm-hmm.
A gentleman by the name of Edward Jackson reached out. All I know about him is he's under 40 years old.
Okay.
And get this, he's got a list, 40 things he needs to do before he's 40. I like this guy. He's driven.
Okay.
I love that. I love people who know what they want out of life.
Fair enough.
So one of the things he's got on his list is he's got to have a supercar, which admirable.
Before 40?
Before 40.
Before 40.
Okay. But here's the struggle.
Okay.
It's all about the key for him, which I got to be honest with you, Edward. I don't love this, and I'm gonna disagree with you on the whole key thing. But he wants to be able to walk into a bar with plenty of lovely ladies and put the key on the bar or the table, and say, "Look what I got." Now, the GT-R, great car, right?
Oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the key looks like any other Nissan
Like
key.
an Altima. You know, that's a Hyundai. That's a Hyundai. Matter of fact, the key of this looks better than
Actually,
an
it
Altima.
does,
I mean,
doesn't
that's
it?
just the reality of it.
It's a decent looking key.
But the GT-R, fantastic, especially in this mode. I think I'm one of the few people that loves that car,
Yeah.
including the transmission, and supercar performance.
Without a doubt.
But his issue is he wants supercar performance, but is it just about the performance, or is there something about the flash or that key?
The statement.
Yeah.
All right, well, I got a quick solution.
What's the solution?
What you do is you get a Porsche key fob. Okay, they're fairly large and they're the shape of a Porsche, and you cut
Now
off
remember, his whole family's in the junk car business,
wrecking
right?
yard business. Yeah. You cut off the front of the key fob, you hollow it out, and then you shove the Nissan key in there. And
you would do that.
Well, no, I wouldn't. But I mean, it just sounds like a really quick fix.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, okay, let's be honest. Porsche 911.
Oh, you can't go wrong.
You get a
Even a Lotus guy like me would totally agree with that.
Yeah, and the key fob looks cool. You put it on the counter. Anybody who knows anything about cars or appreciates a very beautiful vehicle, or they're into money, all those things which you want to immediately say the minute you put that down on your bar, that's the key you want.
The key fob on that is the car.
It is.
And
it's
you
the
can
shape
get
of the
it
car.
painted to match the car.
I heard that. I haven't seen it yet.
Now, so Hinweis here. His parameters are $85,000. Doesn't mean you can't get a new 991 for that, but you can get a really nice used one even when someone spec'd out the key to be painted. Now, I'm gonna push back on you and Edward a little bit here.
Okay.
Because I would never buy a car based on how other people perceive me. I mean, how many Lotuses have I owned? No one knows what the hell they are.
Right.
So obviously I've proven this. So I'm going to give you a couple things here. That GT-R, let's assume, what is it? It's a 3-second car, even a Nismo.
Roughly,
okay? And you guys have, like, I'm super jealous of him and Roman because they get to play with a Hellcat every day. They own one. Not borrowed, they own one.
Yes, we do.
So you got, what is that, a 3-second car?
Well, theoretically, but not really.
Okay, let's call it 3-second for competitive sake. Now, barring next year, there will be a 2018 Mercedes E63S that does, you ready for this? I can't even believe I'm saying this, 627 pound-feet of torque out of 4 liters. That will be a 3.3 second to 60 car, and it weighs almost like 4,500 pounds, okay? But 85 grand, I think you could buy a GT-R. You could easily buy that Challenger. You could also buy a Z06.
Yes, you could.
85 and brand new, 85 grand.
Sure.
Still crappy keys.
But it's got the Corvette emblem on it, which is
Yeah.
a lot neater than just having a regular Nissan key, right?
Yeah. But my point is, Edward, don't prize the key or trying to chase girls with a specific car. 3 seconds. That's what I would prize.
I agree with you, but on the other side of it, if it's that important to you,
Yeah.
then get a used AMG anything pretty much from the past 10 years.
Oh, what about a C63S coupe?
The
that new one?
C63S?
That 85 grand, you could buy a brand new one.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You could buy a brand 85 for a coupe, not the convertible, and that is and it has the same 4-liter engine.
It is fast.
But
and
it's not 3 seconds, but it's a great car.
It's a great car. And then you have the Mercedes-Benz emblem on your keychain, and you're going to put it there on the bar, and every honey in the house is going to know what that means.
Okay, so long and short of the story, he is feeding into your side of impressing the ladies. I am saying please take the cerebral approach and get the 3-second car that no one knows. And by the way, you can buy a Lotus for 85 grand.
Yeah, but it has a Toyota engine.
But it's a Lotus.
It's a Toyota.
And it's the best car to drive in the world.
It is, but it still has a Toyota engine.
Okay, I have to agree with him on that. Okay, now this next question is, I would argue, more fun than the last question.
All right.
Ready for this? This one comes in from a fellow New Yorker.
Oh, boy.
Andrew Ippolito, please, my apologies if I have butchered your name, because he lives in Brooklyn, so that could be a problem for him.
Careful.
Okay, so Andrew Ippolito, he's 59.
Okay.
Okay, he is retired, and he wants a fun car. And are you ready for his choices?
Okay.
He wants to get either a Ferrari California T or an Aston Martin Vantage, V8 Vantage. And he wants to buy one, and from what I understand, he wants to buy it secondhand. And he's going to retire from Brooklyn. Basically, he's retired, but he wants to move to either Connecticut or California. I would suggest California, although the taxes are, actually taxes are bad in Connecticut too. But anyway, when he's not looking for tax advice, is he?
No, he's not.
He's looking for advice on cars from
Right.
us. We're idiots, so we'll just talk about the cars. So California T, used. Aston Martin V8, used. What would you do? And another parameter, 10 to 15 years he wants to keep it.
He wants to keep it that long.
10 to 15 years.
Man, the maintenance alone on either of
Hold on a
those.
minute, think about this for a minute. This man is 59, he's retired, and he wants to buy a $100,000 car. Obviously, he's successful in life, so he's doing something right.
Okay, fair enough. Aston Martin.
Why?
Because it's just a little bit more sophisticated. Yeah. It's a little less of look at me. It has damn good performance.
It does.
And frankly, I've never driven the California.
Really?
I've never driven it.
You are. You're spending too much time with Roman.
I know. I'm sorry. I
gotta get you out.
I feel bad, Mr. Brooklyn.
That's probably why you have an Outlander right now.
Oh God, you just have to go there again?
Okay, so
really,
I don't want to sound like a shill here, but I agree with him, and let me give you the reason why.
Okay.
It's an Aston Martin, man. You know, almost like we go back to that question from Edward Jackson. When I'm rolling into a group of people, I mean, you sound like a douchebag. I know it sounds terrible either way, but you sound like a douchebag when you say I have a Ferrari or an Aston. Either way, okay? But the Aston Martin, you're sophisticated.
Yes.
And when people see it, they look at it and like, man, no one looks at it and says, that's a douchebag. People with a Ferrari are like, you know what? That guy's a douchebag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only if it's a classic Ferrari will they not consider you a douchebag.
And you have to go back way, way back in order to really get to that classic Ferrari.
Yeah, but then for the money that you would pay for a classic Ferrari, you could get a house on Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
That's how much those are now. But my answer is the Aston Martin I think it's a classier car. I think over time the design will age better. Absolutely. I mean, as it is, that design, what is it, 15, 20 years old?
Yeah, I don't think the California is a very good looking car. I don't like its headlights.
Well, they changed it.
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta make sure you drive one and make sure you drive one of those.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Because the engines, I mean, I'll admit, the engine in the new California T is crazy. I'm gonna go so far as saying it is too much engine for that car. It's perfect for the 488 GTB, but the driving dynamics of that car can't keep up with that engine. But that aside, yeah, I mean, the engine's incredible. But the Aston Martin, it's the whole package. It's the design. I love the way that engine delivers power. Now, I'm going to assume, Andrew, that you're not talking about the V12 Vantage, because I know for a fact those are all sold out, and no one's really going to part with them. And if they are, they're going to ask for a ton of money. And I know this because we're going to have one on the show in like 2 weeks. Oh. And literally, this was the conversation. I got a call from Aston Martin. you better get off your blankety blank ass, because we're selling the one car we have left. It's the only car that is not sold. So if you want to drive one, do it now. So literally, I moved off a cool car because that's cool.
I totally get it.
So I'm assuming it's the V8. And the other thing about the V8, and this is the big reason why I would say get the Aston, is it's a stick.
That's right. I mean, Ferrari no longer even makes a manual transmission.
For a long time now.
Neither does Lamborghini, for that matter. But the Aston Martin is the embodiment of what classic road-going automotive love is.
Absolutely.
Okay, I mean, I just absolutely
Okay, so we can't even speak. That's how
with the tongue. But it really is just such an awesome, beautiful car. I really think it is just fantastic to look at. Easy to drive, really. I mean, for a fast car.
I'm going to put a hinweis here. He needs to buy it with a stick.
Well, without
he
a
needs
doubt.
to buy it. Now, when you buy the Aston Martin with a stick, I'm going to forewarn you, it's not the lightest clutch in the world, which
it's not.
I prefer. But it's not the lightest clutch in the world.
But you also secure the vehicle while you're in Brooklyn in case anybody tries to steal it.
That's a good point, actually.
Thank you.
See this? See the pragmatic nature of this guy?
That's all I am.
Anything else you want to add to this? Because this is a good question.
It's an excellent question. I wish you luck on your retirement. Look me up anytime you want to hang out and buy me dinner and a car.
I think we should put a stipulation that whatever he chooses, he has to let us drive it.
Oh, yes, please. That would be terrific.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Damn good idea.
Have you driven an Aston Martin?
Yeah.
Which one?
Nearly all of them.
Oh, I didn't know
I've driven
you were
the
that
Vantage.
sophisticated.
I try. I fake it. What I do is...
Especially when you wear this.
I'll have you know this is considered classy in some circles. Which reminds me, you know, being that I'm a guest on your Q&A, let me ask your audience to answer a question for you.
Oh, so you want to do the... Okay, I like that. You pose the question.
Here's the question, guys. What truck should Mr. MotoMan drive?
Like to own?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a good question, man. That's a good question.
Yeah, he's not a truck guy, obviously. But I think that it would be interesting.
Should I be offended by that?
Yeah, a little. Okay. And I think that if you guys answer this question, give us a reason. And please, please, if you want to add the Honda Ridgeline to that, great.
You're never coming on the show again. Okay, so with that, answer the man's question. Let us know in the comments below or via our social media, MotoManTV, all one word, MotoManTV, all one word, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And they can actually find you at Nathan Adlin Twitter, something like that?
Yep.
Okay. And then I want to leave you with two things. Number one, make sure you download our fancy new mobile application, which you can download for free at Apple iTunes and Google Play. Have you downloaded it yet?
No, I haven't. I will soon, I promise.
You're fired. And you could just, let's not forget, but did you know that you can find us on 5 international airlines now?
I just found that out. 5.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Although you fly Southwest, don't you?
You know, you really don't want to go there. Just, come on.
Okay, so not his airline. And then number 2, I think we should leave him with a fun fact. And you being the guest, you should leave them with a fun fact.
All right, I work with Roman Micah, who is essentially my second wife. He and I have been doing this for about nearly 7 years now, and TFL Car and TFL Truck. And yeah, there's a lot of facts about Roman that I'd love to spew out there, but I'll give you one fun fact about him. He's afraid of elevators.
You're joking.
I am. But I want you guys, when you see him, to say, have you gotten over that fear of elevators yet? He's going to go nuts. He's not going to know where that came from because hopefully he won't be watching this.
I love the genius of this. Okay, we definitely have to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe they leave it in the comments.
Oh, yeah, down below, yeah.
Okay, so then we need to do this and we'll monitor, right?
Yeah, we will.
Okay, until we see you next time, bis später.